Steady scraping sounds closed in on you as you felt a terrifying presence advance in the darkness. Okay, well, let's hide. Try to get a decent vantage point as the scraping noises grew louder and louder. A huge humanoid creature entered the room. The thing was naked, revealing its abnormally muscular and scarred physique. Its left arm was missing, replaced with what looked like a long pole or rod full of thorns and other sharp projections. No, not Chromewaller, not Chromewaller. This isn't fair. I killed you. I killed you. The most striking feature, however, in this abomination was its head. The creature had a head of a crow. Dun dun dun. And it was not just a mask. The feathers were growing down its neck too. Its empty, glaring eyes seemed to stare right through you from the darkness of the doorway. The crow gave a loud caw that was mixed with a deep, resonating growl of an anguished man. This was all the warning you got as it charged straight at you. The creature swung fiercely at you with its left mauler arm. You didn't even have time to start chanting the spell as the mauling arm crushed you against the floor. The creature knew perfectly well how to utilize the dreadful weapon as its thorns and spikes scraped the skin of your back. You were surprised by the mercy shown as the crow finished you quickly with just one additional swoop that broke your spine. Looks like your journey ended before it could even properly begin. I knew it. I knew it. I called it. Yeah, so altruism is gone. We can die in the tutorial. I'm gonna go through it way quicker on the next time. I've returned. Let us begin again. Go with Tempest. In all caps. Fear and Hunger mode. Alright, I'm not gonna be reading as much. I really want to do the full text. This is my brain damage. Once I've died once, you know, we gotta try again. Full text. So basically, you know, we're gonna do our little flashback. Episonia, you know, worships gods. Europa has the Great Wars. We leave our family. I'm gonna take Chuck with me. I consider cringe edge line. We tried learning stuff in Amon, but they sucked. So I'm going to go to the Eastern Sanctuaries. I learned Pyromancy trick. We're gonna meet the true baller Yellow Mages. And then we'll meet a dude who will be like, yo, we're gonna go to the Dungeon of Fear and Hunger. We're gonna learn basic techniques just to get the Le Dance Macabre. So we have fire magic, we have the dance, we get to the runes, everyone sucks, Sam intense, main entrance, kitchen, cupboards, old wheat flour. Loud bang and screeching come from the entrance hall. Adrenaline was rushing through you as you ran back to see what was causing the noise. The door was jolting from its hinges. Something big was trying to force its way through whatever was created in human thingamadooter. Let's see what happens if we run outside. You turned around and considered leaving the darkness, however, you feared that you might never be able to return there if you had left the place, so just to achieve what you set out to do, you decided to stay, as bad as the idea felt to you. You ran as fast as you could, gain distance, and then all from a creature with each step. You couldn't see much in darkness. Okay, so we just got through to the courtyard. So I only found flour. I think we found something better before. So now we're in the next area, sun setting. Lavatory didn't have anything. Stairway. Check the side path. And again, there was just so much reading last time, right? Small door shut in darkness. Search bookshelves. I do want that skin Bible. Also, but you had a job to do, yeah. Large room opened up, check the doorway. Search the desk. Force it open. Lucky coin. Faint whining and moaning could be heard from the partially eaten archaeologist trying to get up. Pick up prison keys. Ignored and return to the foyer. The corridor. Yeah, it's like we're getting closer. Iron Maiden room. For all you knew, lock was still fully functional. Check the dark corridor. Creeks forming. Oh yeah, the archaeologist is mad. Archaeologist must have my scent. Check the gate at the end. Because the prison cell doors, I think, are just normal. Violently, the creature tried to reach free while making low grunting noises from its swollen throat. The gate held. Alright, so now we're back to the area where we died, right? Instead, if you took the stairs deeper to the darkness, the thought crossed your mind if darkness sits with... Yeah. Stairs became sticky, rot and stuff everywhere. Voices in your head get bigger. Have to go deeper. Insert giggity joke. Chamber full of partially buried skeletons and corpses. You can see the ceiling. Wait, no, this isn't quite it. Stairs up takes us to the captain room. The screams of the malformed archaeologist got louder and louder until he saw the thing banging on the gate relentlessly. Starting to get loose, it seemed like the creature could have broken it at any moment. He decided to head back down while he still could. Alright, we're gonna go down now. Take the stairs down. Underground ravine, open up even your torch. Nothing's in these prison cells, so let's walk over the bridge. Bridge is super creaky. This prison door has a super tall, muscular person. I think this is I don't think this is Chromaller because they didn't describe the arm. Corridor. To a small intersection to your left, there's a doorway to a small room, and to the right, continue deeper. Back to the small room. Army officer. Check the lever. It looked like a mechanical lever control something. You tried pulling it, but it was stuck. It wouldn't even budge a little. It was a curious little thing, but its purpose would remain a mystery to you. You heard distant chains rattled by the chasm. Seems like the small commotion caused by exploration had reached the ears of something or someone. Oh yeah, also Chromaller in Fear and Hunger 1, right, was like the guy in charge of the dungeon became the Chromaller. So I guess we're in his room. Return to the corridor. The corridor took you to a small intersection. To the door to the left there was the door to a small room. To the right, the corridor. Alright, let's just head deeper to the darkness. So we've skipped the officer's room. We don't have a fancy sword. You torch pushed away the darkness. The dancing light flickered on a lone skeleton chained on the wall. The corridor circled back to the great chasm and its suspended platforms. The gird iron bridge connecting the two sides had completely collapsed on this side of the ravine. You notice a rope tied to the platform. On the other end of the rope, you saw a corpse belonging to the archaeological expedition. The person had apparently uninstalled. The horrors of the dungeon must have been too much for them. Lift up the corpse. You pulled the corpse up. You ran your assessment. The person had modern clothing that looked like that of a stereotypical Western archaeologist. You know, those stereotypical Western archaeologists with their blazers and, you know, their... I don't know what these people wear. Cargo pants, maybe? Percent, nothing of value. You did pick up the rope, though. So I know back we could use the rope. The gird iron bridge connecting the sides that completely collapsed on this end of the ravine. There was nothing here apart from the corpse you had pulled up. Let's just examine the corpse. Found nothing of value. Examine the ravine. You saw faint shapes in the darkness. The platform seemed to continue on the other side. God knows how large this man-made area really was. Gotta head back. Your footsteps were the only thing echoing in the air apart from occasional water dropper in the distance as you headed back. On the doorway to the small room on your right and in the area of you, area cells, go check out the cells. As you walked to the platform, you heard loud screeching from one of the cells. The noise seemed to come up from the cells at the end of the platform. Something trapped inside was causing the ruckus. A large humanoid burst through the cell door. Yep, Chrome Mauler breaks out. Try to slip by it. You couldn't help but take a few steps back. That strong was the killing intent emanating from the thing. Try to slip by it. Try to slip past the creature. First you dodged another swing coming your way and then leaped on the annexing bridge, just barely escaping beyond the crow's reach. You ran across the bridge. The creature followed hot on your tail. The shaking bridge clattered under your feet. Just as you made it on the other side, the whole thing fell to pieces. No, Chrome Mauler, no! The hulking mass of the Chrome Mauler was too much for the antique construction. The creature slumped down to the endless chasm with the collapsing parts and pieces. You were standing on a gridiron platform that suspended above the dark ravine that opened up below you. The bridge had linked the platform to the other side that collapsed entirely with the crow. The side you're on only had a few individual prison cells in a row, and a stairway leaned back up to whence you initially came. Check the cells. All of them appear locked. Some of the locks were too rusty. Not that you miss anything. Just regular prison utensils. Bridge remains. You walk to the bridge remains and look down. The chasm was deep, very deep. Surely the creature could not have survived the fall. That's what you kept saying to yourself anyways. Yeah. I'll return to the upper floor chamber. As you walked up, you once again heard the echo inside your head. Deeper, you must delve deeper. The cracked path must have been somewhere in the bloody chamber. So we examine the contraption. We can use the rope. You didn't notice the gaping hole at the center of the contraption or chamber until you got closer, and your torch lit up the surroundings. The wooden contraption had been built around it as a freight elevator of sorts, lifting, lowering items and people if necessary. The contraption itself stuck out just by not being stained with blood and filth like everything else. Judging by some of the equipment around, the elevator must have been used by the same archaeological expedition that had set up tents outside. If you had some rope. Oh, I do have rope. You tied the rope tightly to the wooden beams and threw loose the loose end down to the pit. A cold draft could be felt coming up from the depths below. You headed down. You climbed down the claustrophobic, bloody pit that the pit opened up, and the area that revealed itself was even more than the ravine upstairs. There's a huge cavern beneath the fortress ruins. The rope ended up on top of a crashed wreckage. An iron cage had crashed on the rocky ground from the pit you had come from. A closer inspection suggested that it was an elevator of some kind. Needless to say, it wasn't functioning anymore. Sit on solid ground next to the wreckage. The cavern was huge, no period. Your torch light left you standing in the middle of darkness with no point of interest apart from a makeshift campsite with a couple of tents and some archaeological equipment. The frame of the elevator had been bent from the fall. There was still a broken chain hanging from the roof. The chain must have lifted and lowered the elevator when necessary. Yeah. Check the campsite. As you walked up to the tents, you noticed that there were no signs of life there. The archaeology crew is gone. Yeah, okay. The campsite had a couple of tents side by side, open crates full of digging equipment, and a makeshift table of various documents scattered around. Around the camp, you found a larger digging site. Check out the tents. The first tent had sleeping bags and clothing scattered about. Along the useless trunk, you managed to find 5 matches. I read that as machetes at first. Second attempt was mostly the same, except there was a collection of archaeological findings on the table. Your initial excitement, after your initial excitement, you notice, however, that those findings were only run-of-the-mill artifacts, pieces of broken vases, and other trinkets of no use. Among the junk, you picked up an ornament lantern. Campsite, yeah, tents, documents. Were Brinton and Brennan, Freeman, this can make sense of them. Very official looking. Maybe even from the Kaiser. Oh my god, Poggies. Are the Bremens Germans? Or Russians? A report documented each item from the digging site. There were pictures of said items etched on paper. Items looked mundane for most parts, but all of them had carvings on them that were unlike anything you had seen before. Germans. Poggies. They didn't match with any culture you were aware of. One document caught your interest especially. It had a sketch of a cubic object with various ornaments and sigils carved around it. Ooh, could it be the Cube of Depths? Something about this item raised the hair on your arms and made you sick from your stomach. There was something special about this cube, no doubt about it. The campsite had a couple of tents side by side, open crates full of digging, blah blah blah. We did this, we did this, we did this. Went to the digging site. Was bigger than it looked initially. Why do they keep fucking doing this? It's like, oh, the first time you saw it, it was this, but now it is this. Just say it's this. Like, why does everything have to be a surprise for my character's initial observations? The site expanded to nearby cliffs with wooden platforms leading down to a dark chasm. Campsite. The cavern was huge, points of interest with a couple of tents. Head to the darkness. You started walking, gotta get that shock value, right? Yeah, everything's... Whoa. You started walking to the darkness with your torch working as still as this light. As you walked away from the wreckage, a voice echoing inside your head became more distant. The further you got, the more aggravated it got, too. Whatever was the source of these voices obviously didn't want you to go this way. Alright, we're going back to the wreckage. I don't want to die. Campsite. Digging site. Okay, campsite. Digging site. Wooden platforms. You descended down to the dark depths. The echo inside your head returned once again. Misguided soul, can't you hear my call? The words were clear this time around. Good. Finally, the voices became more clear. More clearer. Couldn't just be clearer. That's too fine, right? I'm pretty sure English is their second language, so they still maintain the everything being not what it is upon observation is silly, though. The archaeology crew had been digging deep and revealed something that should have stayed hidden. Ancient structures could clearly be seen protruding from the rocky surface. The structures almost looked like the remains of a city from another time. The wooden platforms took you straight to them, and a ladder was set to lead you inside what looked like a temple or some other place of worship. Yeah, we covered this in Fear and Hunger 1. I will not say what it is, because it's a little spoilery, I think. You climb in. Most of the temple was dilapidated by the time, but you could still spot some murals on the wall that depicted rituals and gods not known in this day and age. Even if you only witnessed glimpses of something larger, the scale of the building already impressed you. It was like anything you had ever seen. Eastern sanctuaries, the city of Amon, Abyssonia, they all paled in comparison. Voice in your head was getting loud. This way, this way, this way. You dug the rubble with your bare hands. You turned over wooden structures and pushed away a stone pillar. And there it was, the source of the voice. Dude just pushing away a stone pillar like fucking Hercules. And there you found it, a burnt and withered head, a severed head to be more precise. The head had deep lines running across it. In the place of its eyes were dark and empty sockets, though only hair on the head was a sparse mustache under its big nose. I remember this person. I wasn't expecting a worm like you weaseling its way this deep to the dungeon, but I'll take what I can get. All earthrooms do, after all, is dig. Surprised no exclamation point there. Your garments humph. Maybe you do have more than a camel's spunk in place of your brains. You are a Yellow Mage, are you not? You confirmed the suspicions of this beheaded oddity. Figures. That is why a measly maggot like yourself could hear my call. Very well. Kneel before me, for I am your master, Nasara, the doom and terror of the modern man. That name, Nasara. That was the name you were not expecting to hear. It was a name even the Yellow Mages only talked in the darkest hours of the night. Nasara, the bringer of the burning crusade. Nasara, the bringer of torment. Nasara, the doom and terror of the modern man. The great wizard from the Eastern Sanctuary went by many titles. He indeed was your master, for this beheaded wizard was the only one who gave birth. Was the one who gave birth to the Yellow Mages and their ideology. Only that had happened over 1,000 years earlier. There were no records of Nasara for at least 500 years. Kia. You are a lucky bastard. Lucky indeed. There's a man I wanted skinned alive. After that, I want to rip off their spines. Those maggots, they will slump before me, limp and feeble. Your master seemed to be surprisingly up to date with the twists and turns of the world had taken since his absence. He had a mission for you. As a Yellow Mage, you were supposed to follow your own ambitions and greed. There was a lot you could learn from this death-defying wizard that could further your knowledge on dark matters greatly. Hey. Educate yourself, buddy. He's greater than a wizard. You decided to play along. You were sure that this terror of the modern man was perfectly aware of your reasoning too. This was the typical relationship between a master Yellow Mage and their apprentice after all, much like the Sith from Star Wars. There's a master and an apprentice, one to embody power and one to strive for it. The problem is, Nasara doesn't have a lot on him, so I can't really... There's not much for me to consume to gain the strength of. You were to travel to a small country in the Eastern Europa with the beheaded wizard, to a town called Prehevil. Prehevil? Your master promised events of cosmic proportions. The stars were aligned for something big to happen. What a grandiose way of saying it. Something big is happening. The stars. Something that would turn the tides of the world for good. For good or for ill? The head left out details from his story on purpose, but that did little to bother you. You had just jumped to the deep end of the otherworldly world. You couldn't have asked for more. With this little knowledge about the task at hand, how did you prepare? Medical goods? Food? Or magical goods? So, I know a certain Silver Dead Knight was like, game is harder, but I am gonna base a little off the first Fear and Hunger. I don't remember food being too bad, but I did pick medium difficulty, not easy. So that leaves me to medical or magical. I'm not a healer, so I'm gonna go with medical, because I died to a lot of status effects. Specifically infections. 2 blue vials and a cloth fragment. Okay, so blue vials heal HP. Cloth fragments, I believe, stop bleeding and make torches. Not that this game will tell me it. You felt tense since the moment you embarked on this journey. Every night you'd see nightmares of the horrors that would await you in Prehevil. Whatever the price, the opportunity was too interesting to pass. With mixed feelings, you continued onwards. Interesting? I don't know. Our character is like so ambitious, you know? Like, it's not like, oh, fast. It's not like the Spock, you know? Like, they want power. Like, yeah, I would say, like, the opportunity was too, like, great to ignore. No, I'm not skipping any intros. I just went through the long tutorial. Whoa, 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 whoa. She just made a pentagram. You felt like someone was watching you while you slept. You hear voices echoing from the beheaded wizard. We're in his radius now. Better not let me down. I feel Nasserah would have called me like a maggot or something. I'm not gonna walk there just yet. Can't read that, can't read that. You can see a misty forest from the tainted window. Alright, tainted windows. Curly-haired man. Excuse me. No answer. I'm not triggering that trap until I have to. Old and interesting pamphlet. Oh. I should be able to steal from these suitcases. Door to the previous cabin is locked. Looking through the window, the cabin seems pitch black. Oh no, does the light of my torch not pierce the darkness of the cabin? Unseen. I'm locked in. Alright. Despair not explode. Alright, nothing bad happened. This time. Salary man. Just assuming he's on a salary. Search the luggage. You found a Berman Elite helmet. Yo, why can I rummage through this, but not the other one? Party talk. Check up on your party. Why do I have damage on me? Burn. Ritual dance used to channel otherworldly powers. Be used by the performer. Raises otherworldly powers gradually over the course of the fight. A passive skill. A dried and burned severed head. The face is forever left in a spiteful grimace. The head is not without purpose, though. Some kind of power in it reflects otherworldly attacks occasionally. Can't believe I have Nasserah as a accessory. Chalk chalk. A seemingly simple shaker instrument. The combination of the pebbles inside and the various pearls tied onto it create a hypnotic rhythm that helps one focus on the otherworldly. Plus 20 magic attack? Let's go. Fuck that soulstone. And helmet. Plus 5 defense. And I don't have the sword. I have a knife, though. I had a staff during the encounter, but I guess I don't have it anymore. Weird. Okay, so yeah, I liked this layout a lot more. We'll do the controls, the audio later. Actually, wait a minute. Let's try to run this game at max volume. Audio. The sound effects were super loud in this game. Oh, there's a hidden volume. Okay, yeah. No recipes. Equipment. Their skills. Oh my god, they categorize things this time. What a genius. A strong occult book written in the medieval times by Enki and Carrion. Chapter explains the older god, the Groth. Cool. Whoa, we can walk diagonally. This game's broken. It's overpowered. Alright, so now that we've tweaked that, I can lower my volume a dab. And I should be loud. Nothing crazy. I'm gonna go here. Yeah, I always read machetes. Yeah, so I like the WSAD key layout because my like joints hurt if I hold any directions down too long on either hand, so I rotate. Talisman raises defense against otherworldly powers momentarily, but it might have some other uses as well, so we're just gonna hold on to it. I really don't like the menu layout being the sprite. Like most of the game is so dark and then you just get blinded by the menu. Kinda cringe. All a suitcases, something feels off. We're gonna be attacked by suitcases. Is he, now that we are in his radius, gonna summon monsters? Suitcase monsters? Suitcase monsters that shoot bees when they open? Whoa, this is... I'm not gonna lie, this is a lot of suitcases. This is, I feel a, no longer reasonable amount of suitcases. We are entering the land of suitcases. Workshop. This place, it is not the train anymore. Janitor, you. I've been looking for you everywhere. Just where did you think you ran off to? You understand the hurry we're in? I don't understand. The eyes of the janitor bulge out from their sockets as his expression intensifies. I imagine like actual like bloop 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 bloop. No one expects you to. You are a stupid fucking human after all. Now get your ass back to the workbench. This is your last chance. Next time it's punishing time. What am I supposed to do? What? You're supposed to assemble new cubes, of course. As for how, figure it out yourself. If you're not capable of that much, you're beyond hope and useless in every sense of the word. What you googling at? There's nothing to see here. Eyes on the cubes. Look, I'll rip those eyes out of your pretty face. Girl in pink, ... Use the directional keys to assemble cubes. You hear voices from inside your head. Are you retarded or what? Why the hell are you playing their games? Okay. Nothing's happening. Oh. Oh, there we go. Okay, so W-A-S. W-A-S. The girl in pink is trying to get your attention. It's like, yo, let's blow this popsicle stand. The table is full of cubes from various sigils, with various sigils carved all around them. The cubes are hollow though. They seem to be missing some parts though. There's only darkness ahead. You can't go back. Where do you think you're going? No, 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 no. I'm sailing away. Your head hurts. You feel like you're losing your mind. Ooh. Robert Garrett has just subscribed. Thank you for subscribing. Much appreciated. This is the normal type of subscription, right? We're still on YouTube. Whatever. Or is it here? Maybe it was a misclick. Who knows? Alright, we have escaped the janitor. Oh no, this is the bad place. This is where the gods tried talking to us before. So is that Francis? Francois? The tormented one? Is the middle one the god of enlightenment? And then I forget the other one's name. Alright, let's click on the tormented one. Doesn't do anything. Can we go under the table and get a peek? My brain, it broke. Oh. It is he whose radius we have entered. And that's the moon. That's the moon on the cover. Mysterious person. Ah, there you are. Moon. It must be the moon god, you ponder. You've read about vague tales about it during your time at the Amon libraries. You pulled out from that nasty place. You were going deep inside into that rabbit hole. And true. Now you're safe under the green hue of the moon. Yeah, so I think that was like... That wasn't, you know, the place of the gods we were at before. I think that's like where all the gods go. That might have been a god graveyard for all I know. Is this real or just a nightmare? Oh, it's hardly a... Oh, it hardly is a nightmare. You just need to adjust your perspective accordingly, and it will be anything but a nightmare. Since our words cannot possibly reach my master, I speak in his behalf. And who might my master be? Well, for now, let's just say that he is the delinquent one. We're here, the trickster moon god. For her? We're here? For her? Her? The trickster moon god. You knew it. And me? You can call me Per Kelly? Per Kelly? I'm just a humble servant of his celestial majesty. Per Kelly, the name does not sound familiar, but you are not sure where you've heard it before. Oh, it does sound familiar. You are the dreamer. He is the dream. This is some Twin Peaks level reference here. We are all inside a dream. My master has invited 14 of you to join us in this jubilee of cosmic proportions. 14 candidates, but only one true victor. The festival of Termina is upon us. Termina? Terminus means end. Termina, you finally remember where you've heard the name of Per Kelly before. The deity is often linked with the so-called Festival of Termina. Information about the festival is murky, but it's often associated with times of great turmoil. Many massacres in history have been blamed on this deity and the moon. Horrible acts have been committed in the name of lunacy. You can't remember much else. The moon god in general is shrouded in great mystery, and his ways are often left unexplained. What is this Festival of Termina? It's a festival to give you The humans, a peak to grandeur and a chance to reach for illustrious heights. The festival to end all festivals. This must be all very confusing to you, so I won't burn you with any more exposition and information at this very moment. If you progress further, I will gladly answer questions later down the road. Let us meet again under the moonlight. So at the end of day 1? Are we beginning day 1? Is this the end of day 0? Was this all in my mind? Maybe. You hear voices echoing from the beheaded wizard. Wake up, Maggot. The train, it seems to have stopped. You hear voices echoing from the beheaded wizard. I trust you got the gist of things. Let us proceed. We have work to do. You hear voices echoing from the beheaded wizard. Something seems off, though. This is not Moon God's usual modus operandi. Gonna be the Moon God's usual modus operandi. Trust no one, but me, obviously. As long as you do what I say, I don't actually care about this trust part either. Now, move it, make it. Give me 20. Door locked. Seems pitch black. Oh, we have stamina. See? See? This is not the land of the suitcase. These seats are perfectly suited for resting. You just need to clear out all the papers first. You find combat manual and Prehevil map. Wow. Alright, we're gonna go back. Because apparently there might be good stuff. Just gotta double check, like that paper there. Maybe it could be something. It is nothing. This paper? Nothing. This paper? Nothing. I did click these. Alright. Empty suitcase. There is still some lone socks and panties inside, suggesting that someone left in a hurry. The man in the suit is talking to himself. He seems to be completely lost in his own thoughts. I'm late already. So late. Smooge.